All right, y'all. About to get started. 1 second. 1 second. Uh-oh. Get my buttons together. Wait a minute. Yikes. Still did it again. What the hell I'm doing? This is crazy, right? All right, here we go. Try this, dude. Yeah. All right, here we go. Now we cooking. What up, doe? What up, doe? What up, doe? What up, doe? This clearly Did and Not Laugh podcast coming to y'all on a special Friday with some information that a lot of y'all been talking about all over the internet, and y'all might need to listen to this information to be able to tie it in with the information you might already know. Now, what is going on? Black America is against the Asians. Whoa, the boycotts going on all over America. Detroit, California, New York, Ohio, all over the place. And the Asians is clapping back, and they seem like they got something to say, and we got a lot to say. So let's dive right off into this, and let me start off by saying that we don't spread no type of hate for no other culture or any other type of race, religion, or creed. Either we subscribe or we don't subscribe. It's just simple as that. So let's just start right off in the beginning of this thing. And the reason why, and I hate doing this, because slavery is not our history. Our history began way before slavery. So as you can see, our El Presidente is already trying to eliminate what little bit of history we already have available to our disposal now. Now, I'm going to start this in the abolishment of slavery, 1865. And the reason why, because from 1828 to 1865, they had started the railroad. And the railroad was running from Baltimore to Ohio, B&O. So next time you play a Monopoly, the B&O, that's what it stands for. Baltimore, Oakland, Transway, if I'm not mistaken. Anywho, once they started building the railroad, of course, they needed people to build it. And once again, who was available? Us. So if you wanted to be free in the North, you had to work on the railroad. Still under plantation, by the way. But you had to work on the railroad, and you was admitted a few more amenities that you didn't get from like working in the cotton field. But it was the same setup. Now, as the railroad grew and extended to go westward, as you going into California, they start running into these people that was already here. The Asians, yeah, Chinese, Vietnamese, Cambodian, all of that from that one region right there, majority Chinese. Whoa. Now, if you look at the map, what y'all got to understand is a lot of these land bridges, there's land bridges in between countries that have been eliminated due to the ecosystem coming from just the Earth atmosphere. Now, these land bridges allow China to be able to walk literally right off into Alaska and into Utah, where a lot of them is at, as y'all already know, Seattle, Washington, Utah, Washington State. Yeah. So in that migration, they just don't stop right there. As they migrated on downward further into California, places like that, Nevada. It was a little bit too warm. Places like this where they was able to seek refuge and some type of water supply and some type of food supply. Now, as the Americas, as y'all told y'all many moons ago about Napoleon Bonaparte and why he was so important to the slave trade, and him getting assassinated, and him actually doing the Louisiana Purchase, allotted America to actually be a whole country, because for a long time, Napoleon owned the whole midsection dang of goddamn America from goddamn New Orleans all the way on up to goddamn Montana. Yeah, that's right, Montana. In this process, the Asians was already settled in. Since when fella realized they tried to eliminate from history, just like us, black Americans. A lot of us was already here. People keep thinking that, the slave trade, y'all didn't come on those ships. Yeah, we did. We came over any way they can get us over here. And the first way we got over here was on our own. We was already here, already integrated with the Indians, or should I say, the people that was here already integrated. So, with that being said, moving back to this railroad and how the Asians coming along, because they already here, migrated already from China. Pay attention. Look at your map if you don't believe me. Land bridge. Water separates the land bridge. Follow me here. So now, once the land bridges and all that, they done migrated. They coming out there with the railroad. Once they start running into the Asian man, they had a name for him. I can't think of what it was. It was a name they had for him. And the Asian man was quite clever, mighty crafty. And they told the Asian man, like, yo, listen, you can work on the railroad, get paid, a handsomely paid, if you ain't got nothing going on. So the Asian man was like, some of them worked, and some of them was like, nah, what's up with him? The black guy, us, the slaves. Why he working like that and he got to go over there and he don't got nothing and y'all go over there? The Asian man seen this instantly and said, this don't look right. This is the Asian man. And see, this is why Asian folklore is the way that it is from back on those days when the railroad was being constructed back in the late 1800s. This is the different hate and love relationship that the Asian man has for the black man. Now, he sees this, and in his mind, he cannot quite understand why is it that y'all don't raise up and say, nah, I ain't doing this. The Asian man could not figure that out. They went to talking about Jesus and God and this and that. And the Asian man was looking like, man, listen, man, y'all is bugging. Do y'all know that we can do crops, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this and do that? Black man wasn't having it. The black man had already been systematically brainwashed. He had been stripped down, taken away from any foundation that he possibly could imagine. And the Asian man was marveled by this. Because, see, the Asian man didn't know that was actually going on since 1495. He didn't know. Because, see, I'm telling y'all, the land bridges separate a lot of things. And the greatest thing that Christopher Columbus could have did besides coming to America, because he didn't discover it, the greatest thing that he could have did was he actually bridged the gap between language and the land bridges, because these people didn't even know these other people even existed because the land bridges was cut off. See, you got to pay attention to your history teacher back when you're in elementary, middle school. But I'm going to bring y'all up to speed, let y'all know what it's hitting for, with the best of my knowledge. Now, Asian man got a problem with the white man and how he treating the black man. Now, the Asian man say, yo, and you got the Indian man over there looking kind of bogus too. We don't even know what's up with him. Now, we done already migrated with some Indians already from the Kansas cities and places like that. So we already familiar with that culture. We familiar with the black culture, but not being treated like this. Because, see, the Asians was here just like we was here and like everybody else here before Chris Columbus discovered America, 1495. We in the 1800s. You got to understand, 4 years done passed. 400 years done passed. You know how many migrations of people done grew? Yeah, a lot of sex, a lot of babies, a lot of migrating. Yeah, so. And saying that, the Asian man always looked at the black man as, yo, you stupid, dumb. I know it's kind of hard to take and hard to say, but but I ain't gonna really say it in the language they saying it in. They really just like, yo, we'll choose not to. Y'all bugging, basically. So the white man gets to the point where the Asian man just lingering around too much, influencing the black man to raise up and do something. So the white man don't give the Asian man the same option that we was given, which we wasn't even given the option. Either you work on the railroad or you go to the penitentiary or you get killed. It was either one or the other. There wasn't no way around that. White man tell Asian man, listen, man, I can't really make you work on the railroad because you're not even of American like descent. Because see, the black slaves was pretty much like property. So the Asian man said, all right, what's up? He said, but I can't let you stay around here, guy. You got to migrate south of here and do whatever you want to do. Now, something interesting happened in the late 1800s. If y'all familiar with the gold rush, whoa, California gold rush. Yeah, look it up, look it up, look it up. The Asian man bumps into that. Whoa, Asian man. Asian man. In the process of his migration, guess where else he ended up? Mexico. Yeah. So when you see the Mexicans that look like they may be Chinese or Asian descent, makes you wonder. Yeah. So as they migrated, as you know, I'm showing you how they migrate. They went down there, showed the Mexicans how to actually grow. Guess what? Heroin. Exactly. That's where Mexican mud come from. Started way back in the 1800s. My bad. Started way back before time. You know, before 1495. Put it to you like that. Where they was already migrated over through the Americas to get to Mexico. They had already did that migration. The Asian man was already moving through. Now, let's go bring it up to speed. Now, I got y'all a little rooted on how the Asian man came across us and how he was viewing us at the time. Now, I got to go to 1958. 1958, 1959. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Hold on one second, y'all. What up, though? You know I'm on? What's up? You know I'm on. Can you hear me or something? Can you hear me or something? Yeah, but can you hear me or not? I'm live. I'm live. No, I just seen the door locked and unlocked. I ain't know if he got up and left. All right, well, I'm live, bro. I'm live. Anywho, that was G. Louie, y'all, chiming in, long distance. I should have put him on a video call so he can get some of this Chinese black action. Wow. Anywho, let me get back to where I'm at. 1958, 59. You know what I'm saying? You got some new action? No. 1958, 1959. Brown versus the Board of Education. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a huge one. Brown versus Education made it possible for all kids to be able to go to school and be able to be educated all across, no matter what your race, creed, or color was. But that didn't quite trickle down to our community quite yet because they still was rioting and protesting and doing whatever. 1964 is why we got to start paying attention to right there. Pow, 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 pow. 1964. Civil Rights Bill goes in effect. All right. Civil Rights goes in effect. Martin Luther, the King, you already know. Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? Them boys, you know what I mean? But Martin, Civil Rights Bill gets signed, go in effect. It's supposed to help all minorities. Pay attention. Once it go in effect, guess who takes advantage of it? The Asians. Now, they didn't march. They didn't stand in no protests. They didn't get beat. They didn't get raped. They didn't get pillaged. They didn't receive no sort of bad treatment in order to be able to benefit from the 1964 Civil Rights Bill. Now I'm gonna tell you, us black people was humble and as nice as we is, we wasn't even mad about it, or a lot of us didn't know. Because I ain't never heard Reverend Al Sharp talk about this. Rest his soul, Jesse Jackson. I ain't never heard Jesse Jack talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan spoke lightly on it. You know what I mean? But he talks about how the Chinese men don't spend money with the black men. That's just simple as that. We buy the food, we buy the clothes, we buy everything Chinese. Hair, products, beauty products, all that Chinese. When we got something on the floor, they don't buy nothing from us. Tell me last time you had a Chinese customer. All right then. But I'm going to tell you this though, what you need to know. The new generation of the younger Chinese people, they still influenced by the older ones because they live by loyalty and principle, something that us black people that have not yet to discover. So they loyal to their race and they loyal to their cause. So you, as an individual that's a black man or a black woman out there, if you choose to take up sides on this or whatever, and you choose not to spend your money with the actual Asians in America, that's fine. But I'm here to tell you, that's going to be hard to do because China makes everything that we possibly see. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, yeah, the American people send it over there to get it produced, and then it's put over there. We still buying it from them. All right, bet. That'll work. But I can tell you this, though. If the Asian community keep this up, and we cut off the beauty supplies, we cut off the Chinese food restaurants, we cut off all the things that they got, nail salons and the pedicure, manicure, all the stuff that y'all go to that they got going on, cleanings and all that. They will apologize. I promise you. Do y'all not understand black people spend $3.2 trillion a year on miscellaneous? We have the largest spending budget in the world. So don't let these people tell you that you broke, that you poor, that you ain't worth nothing. Because that ain't what the statistics say. I'm looking at the economists, and the economists is telling me that we as a group of people that mismanage money. Huh? Yeah, we a group of people that mismanage money. That's what it tells me, and they know it. And this is why they produce and promote all these crazy things to us, because all we do is buy. But see, that mentality that we have about buying every goddamn thing that we see, it comes from not being able to have anything. See, that's that slavery mentality. See, that's why I had to go all the way back to 1865 when slavery allegedly was supposed to be abolished by no other than your man's Abe. Yeah, you know, Abe, one nigga took a dome shot. He off up in there tried the picture theater, you know what I'm saying, trying to look at a movie with his gal, off up in there took a dome shot. Why Abe ain't had no security, man? Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Abe off up in the theater, man, checking the movie out, and Abe had his hat on too. You know the bullet that lodged to Abe head. Whoa, Abe. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Yeah. Bullet got lodged off up in there. Abe off up in there. You know what I'm saying? Telling me to abolish some slavery and all that. Trying to win the war, the civil war between the North and the South. Yeah, that's a whole nother history lesson, y'all, about Abe's assassination, man. Yeah, that's something else. But, yeah, that guy. So I had to take it back there to bring you up to this right here. In 1964, I ain't even got the 2000 what we got going on here, or the 80s explosion, and none of that, because the 70s was explosions as well. I missed the whole in between from the early 1900s to now because you had a Great Depression off up in there, which once again, we saved America. Yeah, black people saved America again. World War II, black people saved America again. Huh? Yeah, come on now. You know what I mean? Every crisis America has been in, we as a people have saved them. And you know why? Because economically, they thrive off black dollars. So you can't tell me that the Asians is popping this week like this as if they want static. Nah, that ain't what it is. Y'all letting Donald Trump trick y'all into thinking that the Asians won't smoke. That's just like if you was a drug dealer. You don't want to cut your clientele off, do you? Why would you talk bad to your clientele? Why would you do that? Nah, you wouldn't do that. You want to keep your clientele happy. So those few Asians that they are posting that are saying that, they just hate. They just hate. The other Asians like, man, please don't. You know what I mean? They take my word on it. Very smart individuals. Yes, they are. They know how to adapt, move, and get in between and stay loyal to their cause. Something that us black people don't know how to do. Now, the 70s, Asians, black people, we cohabitated. 70s was good. Black people was learning karate, jiu-jitsu, all types of fly stuff. Even though we kind of find out it wasn't real, but you know, it still was a bomb. And the 80s came and boom, there you go. The explosion of Chinese food. It exploded out of nowhere. Pow! Benihana's. Chinese joints on every corner. This is Detroit, y'all. Detroit podcast. So I don't know where y'all at, but here that's how it exploded in the 80s. Chinese joints on every other corner. Wasn't like that in the 70s. Had a few, but not like they did in the 80s. They exploded. Benihana's top flight. You know what I'm saying? So all this time, it's us that's carrying this culture. It's us that takes their culture and evolved into black culture. It's us that's doing that. They ain't forced us to do that or ask us to do that. We doing it on our own because we think that they all right. They cool. They all right. You move on into the 90s. Wu-Tang Clan, self-explanatory. You know what I mean? Paris and goddamn, what's her sister's name? The Hilton sisters. I don't know her sister, the Halle, I think. It's shown. Hello Kitty. Come on now. Asians, yeah. They copped. They copped Wu-Tang. They copped them Hello Kitties. They copped that. 2000s. Angela Simmons and her sister, the Simmons girls, with the cupcake joints, the sneakers, the cup, whatever that was, they had going on. Yeah. So the Asians copped. Right now, to this day, I think it was who was that cuz just canceled their show over there in China and Japan?
I don't know.
You don't know who that was? All right, look. Somebody just canceled. I can't think who it is. It's going to come to me in a minute, y'all. But yeah, Japan right now is booking niggas, giving them a bankroll. Just book Magic City. Y'all seen that last year. Magic City went over there deep. They went over there, got it in. Japan, they love them. Love them. Love them. They want to be a part of the culture, man. So don't think that what Donald Trump is doing economically has got something to do with that. And the Asians need to stand down and need to put some apologies out there and let it be known. Like, nah, why would we do that? They bugging. It's a false narrative, y'all. I'm telling y'all. But moving right along, New York Knicks, San Antonio Spurs. Listen, man, I got to talk about this. I know I told y'all we wasn't doing no more sports like that because it was too complicated and the game was all over the place. But never in the history of NBA has that happened where a 29-point lead was blown within the second half quarter of a game. That was the most ridiculous basketball I ever seen in my life. So it seems to me the New York Knicks is 3-1. Look like they'll be on tomorrow, and it seems like they'll be taking that chip back to New York from San Antonio. Yeah, I think that's how that's going to go out and read out, because there's nowhere in the world that all of their breath is taken up out of them. So if you're a betting man, I think I would go ahead and roll with the Knickerbockers on that one. Wow. Furthermore, I had to get y'all that about the Asian people and the black people. And I want y'all to remain thoughtful. Because I keep seeing this saying, y'all, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. The compass was invented before the clock. So I had to see where I was going before I looked at to see what time it was. Now, there's all kinds of ways you can wrap your hand around that. But it makes sense. You got to know where you're going. Ain't no need for you to know what time it is if you don't know where you're going. You could be walking in circles for hours. You got to have a destination, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's hop to it. In and out. Live podcast.